I suppose we will work on this Maserati. Because this is the next job that we can do. This worries me. This color looks like it's going to be kind of gross. But now we're starting to get to the point where the jobs do have multiple things wrong with them, or multiple categories of things wrong with them. So this is where we're going to start raking in that profit, because I know for sure if the test path is 15K, which how much money do we even have? Not even 1,000 yet, or 10,000 yet. This is probably like 25,000. It's like a mustard with a little bit of green, like a green salsa maybe. It's probably the last job I'll be able to do. Let's talk about the interior. I don't like it. I'm guessing that the engine is in the front. Oh, of course. Hate when what a specialty engine. I can see some of these exhaust parts are bad. What's the deal? Loud and accelerating. That's an exhaust problem. And repair all gearbox faults. There's not a lot of bad parts in this car. And I can already see 2 of them. Oh wait, we don't work in the middle of the garage. So because of how quick this job is going to be, we may actually be able to do another one after this. Unfortunately, we are going to have to take off both of these exhaust manifolds because they are attached to the... Hello? Oh my gosh. That's too many bolts. Yeah, you can see... Well, actually, this part we have to take out from under the car. But it's attached to this, so we'll just go ahead and take it out. Gearbox issue also means we're probably going to take off both of the front tires, which is just another hassle. So, I do like the color of the oil filter. That's cool. Where even is the gearbox? There. The gearbox is in great shape. Look at that. And actually, we may not need to take off the tires because it looks like the way this gearbox works is that it connects to this part that's really hard to look at. We need to race the car. So, okay, first thing first is we take off this part. And that's going to tell us that the exhaust manifold, this is an i6 engine, and the front exhaust for the Sebring. Isn't a Sebring the car that Michael Scott had in The Office? I guess. Okay. So here, we need to remove this that sort of spreads all the way across the car, which makes it hard to hear when the bolts are being removed. What else are you attached to? Oh, probably the starter. It's usually how it is. And that's up top of the car sort of deal. Top of the car to you. I was about to complain about the music not playing. Okay, I could have taken that out earlier. Back we go. Now we can take off the gearbox, which the gearbox itself is not the problem, which if it were, that would make this job far more profitable for us. It is it just this? Yeah, the clutch release bearing, literally the first part. Although honestly, the pressure plate looks like it's having some issues. This is the pressure plate. This gearbox looks different than what I'm familiar with. Doesn't matter, we found the part we're looking for, so. Clutch release bearing. Okay. Let's look at exhaust. I6. Need a exhaust manifold. I6, that's not worth a lot of money. Sebring. front exhaust section. That's not worth a lot of money either. Release. That's not worth a lot of money either. Nah. What can you do? Well, it's an i4 gearbox. What a strange, like, strangely built car. Okay. We'll go ahead and put the drive shaft back on. In my very first car, the drive shaft is the part that broke and just like sheared in two. It was a cold day. Oh, we cannot hear the bolts at all. Yeah, like a cold winter day. It had just parked it. And then when I got back in, it just would not move at all. And got it. They towed it in, and they found that the drive shaft had just sheared in the middle and totaled the car, actually. So, all the parts... Oh, no, that exhaust section needs to go back. It was really unfortunate. I really like that car. A Ford Taurus. Dark green. Put the starter back on. And then this was the bad one, so we'll go ahead and put the good one in its place. Just don't even need to look at the bolts where they're at. We just know. I did see that the engine block was worth $2,400. That would have been a part I wouldn't have minded spending a lot of time replacing. But what can you do? We're not going to break a car. We're not going to give it Typhoid. We are not Typhoid breadfiesta. That's not us. Alright, not worth a lot of money. Whatever. We have enough experience now for a new upgrade, so we'll go ahead and get the electronic meter, get all of our testing tools out of the way, because it's just going to be helpful in the long run. What's our time? I got about 10 minutes. I can do one more. Okay. Oh, we have a truck now. But this Bentley is another DLC car. A real-life car. Why are all the DLC, like, real-life cars look so old? Or are trucks? I don't know. 4 things. Running gear faults, cars hard to control, brake problems, and gearbox problems. Let's do it. That last job didn't make us a whole lot of money, so we're probably still not even at 10,000. I mean, one thing we can do is we can always just get a bank loan. We are at 10,000. So, yeah, if we want to start doing body work, we could just take out a loan. Ooh, this is that same sort of blue that we saw before that I really like. It actually kind of goes well with the inside red. I personally don't like the maroon red on the inside. I get it. I do like kind of the blue-red dichotomy there. I like it. It's too old of a car. I also noticed that the driver, the steering wheel is not on the right side of the car. Or rather, it is on the right side of the car, which is wrong. Perned to. Alright. Let's see. Lots of running gear faults. Car is hard to control. Lots of brake problems. And a couple things wrong with the gearbox. The lights keep flashing. Don't like that. I'm just going to really quick. Okay. Luckily, the rest of the car... Yeah, our threshold actually was 84%. Now, I was going to take this to the test track, but because the threshold is at 84% and rust doesn't start appearing until 80%, it's actually going to be really easy to visually identify all the parts that are wrong. So, I'm not going to waste time going to the track. Let's get it to the lifter. We are... Also, I'm not going to... I wasn't going to comment on the hood being wrong, but now I have. Does this have an OBD port? Nope. Let's do a compression test just to see if it tells us anything. I don't think it will. Yeah, nah. This is a T-Series, which I believe is a popular YouTube channel. Let's see what the electronic meter does. What sort of numbers are we getting here? Sometimes getting into those double digits. Nothing useful. Well, it tells us about the battery, the starter, throttle, alternator, and fuel pump. All things that can be very easily taken out of the car and inspected. Okay. Well, I can see the, this isn't the drive shaft. I know better than what this is. It's the thing that's attached to the tie rods. I can tell this, let's see, this shock absorber cap is bad. This sway bar is bad. This shock absorber is bad. The suspension arm is bad. This sway bar is bad. I can see in the brakes here. So I'm gonna have to take out, it looks like, both of the front tires. In the back here, I'm going to have to take off this tire, and yep, we gotta take off all tires. So let's just do it. Why not? I don't see why not. I mean, I didn't also see how the gearbox is connected. The gearbox is connected. It's a this. Hello, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and a 4. Great. And it is also connected, I'm guessing, to the starter, which is going to be on this side of the car. Oh, luckily we can get it from the underside this time. Look at the weird shape of this gearbox. There's got to be a lot of other parts, I guess, in here, because it wouldn't just be like a big, like, empty box. There are 2 things wrong with the gearbox, I believe. So the pressure plate's bad. This song's got like some generic haze in it, which I don't really like. This part's bad too. Alright, so that's both of the gearbox stuff. Clutch plate and clutch pressure plate. Now let's just get all the tires off. There's a fun little hubcap on these Bentleys. Okay. We're going to have to take off all the brake parts here. I think we'll just take off like everything in this car, even if it's good, and then just sort of mix and match later. In order to get the shock absorber off, we do need to take the cap off. We'll get the suspension arm. Is this a sway bar? Because the sway bar seems like it was usually attached to the... I mean, it looks like a sway bar. But it looks like it is usually attached to the shock absorber. What do I have to take off? Do I have to take off the spring in this case? Yep. Sometimes the spring just floats there. Alright. Tire rod's gotta go. As does this one. And we'll go ahead and go over and we'll get this side. Just get the shock absorber cap out of there. And the sway bar. Excuse me. And we will go ahead and replace this. Or we're not replacing the tire. Very infrequently you have to do that, actually. Most of the brakes on this side are bad. And I don't remember if this was the car that had the driver's side on the wrong side. I think it was. So this is just some passenger side. Bad car. Passenger probably said something. They were probably like, hey, this car is hard to control. The steering's a little sloppy. And there's a gearbox fault. Okay. I think that's everything in the front. We got here. Yeah, bad brakes. All over the passenger side. Or maybe the driver's side, I don't remember. My brain doesn't work anymore. At least all the pads look fine. Alright, that looks good to me. Oh, look at this leaf spring. I didn't even notice that before. Let's take this U-bolt off as well. And this plate, as well as... That's probably got bushing in it, I bet, yeah. Alright, that off. And this tire / rim. And this caliper is bad. I'm gonna blame the bolts. This can go, this can go. Oh, the knuckle is bad. Eesh. A lot of parts in the way of that. Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah, we have identified everything now. Buying is going to be a hassle because there's just no way I'm going to be able to remember all this stuff. I'm going to be going back and forth. Maybe when I'm editing, I'll cut it out. Okay, I think I bought everything. And also I'm glad because this good song started. And I think this does have a an overlap because there's a sway bar front end link B here. And there's both sway bar front end link Bs in this part. So I only bought 2 because there are only that many parts in the car. Alright, so we'll go ahead and we'll get this solid axle control arm back here. Start kind of, I guess, do it in reverse. We'll get this leaf spring plate and these U-bolts. You need to have a good suspension. I guess you need to have all the parts. Now, the rear axle knuckle housing C, we were talking about how the front knuckle C is the one you want because it's worth the most. For the rear axle, you actually want D. C is actually the one that's worth the least. So, minimizing our profits, but that's okay because there's the steering rack up in the front that's worth 800. So, now we have both brake disc and brake disc ventilated, which we had to replace here. And the difference is the ventilation in the disc. We'll go ahead and give you a 90. Okay, that's everything on that side. Next. Go ahead and put this brake disc on here, and these pads, I think I'll give you an 89, sure. And we're gonna put the 86 one on here, just 86 this brake caliper. Wasn't there something else I had to replace back here? I don't recall. I don't see any, like, ghost parts. So I guess everything else is at the front. Let's get the gearbox pieces back on. Screw this pressure plate back on. I wonder how, like, mechanical engineers decide how many bolts need to be here. Like, why does it need to be 5? Why not 4? Why does it have to be 2 at the top? How about this one? Like, there's 5 bolts. I heard that. This piece seems a lot heavier, so why is 5 sufficient? Like, is that putting too much extra pressure onto the drive shaft? Or the drive shaft? I cannot hear it at all. It's too far away. That's probably fine. This one I can hear at least a little bit of a whisper of. Okay, it is in place. Great. Let's get that steering rack in here. That's $800 just for that part alone. So that's going to be, I imagine, the bulk of our profit. That new absorber cap here. Both sway bar front end link Bs. Front wheel hub. Ooh, wow, 0%. How did that one part of the car get so bad? What were you doing? What was your passenger doing? So you can kind of see, you can see the ventilation there. Makes the difference. Okay. Something not letting us put the tire back on. What am I missing here? Oh. You know what? Your passenger side doesn't deserve the good tire. Okay. And now this side. Ooh, that's a lot. Looks like a lot. I mean, that's how things usually are. Is it looks like a lot, but it's really not. Or it's less than it seems. I don't often like the advice of if there's a lot of things you have to do, just do them. Because that invalidates the feeling that you've already been doing a lot. And I just don't think that is necessarily fair. So if you feel overwhelmed and you feel like there's a lot of things going on, you might just be right. You might just have a lot of things going on. And while doing them will help you in the short term in resolving that, there's still a lot that, you know, can be done and that people can help you with to stop getting into that situation. That's what I'm working on. I'm also working on this Bentley. Okay. Let's take a look at our inventory. This looks to be all junk. Everything is in the red. $290 though. I will take that. And it looks like, yeah, we have replaced everything for a profit. Losing $1 again. Which is odd because that number is definitely divisible by 4. So I don't know where the dollar's getting lost. Whatever. $2,200 profit, not bad. Good, even. Okay, that actually took me a lot longer, so I need to finish up here. Our final results for the day, just shy of 4,500 experience. We're at $1,200. So that's going to conclude for today. In the next episode, or in our next session, we'll work on some cars for experience and profit. I have been breadfiesta. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope your day is going exactly the way that you want it to.